Go.
Hey everyone, this is Allegra Knight with Liberation Through Lyme. Taryn wanted to interview me again, so here I am to follow up and tell you what's been going on.
Hey everybody, happy Thursday, August the 13th. Welcome to today's GoTarryn TV show. And I'm Taryn, the traveling trainer. And as you can see, as you know, she's back, Allegra Knight from Liberation Through Lyme. Allegra, welcome back to GoTarryn TV via Skype.
Thank you so much for having me again. I'm really excited to be here.
Well, thank you for coming on. Really appreciate your time. For the folks out there who missed the last time we had Allegra on, she was on our May 12th edition. So if you go back in our archives on GoTarryn playlist, you can go back to May 12th. You'll see the Skype interview where you can learn a little bit more about Lyme disease because she knows a lot about it. And I wanted to have Allegra back on here so that she can check in. From the first time that we talked, and of course, we're connected through our mutual friend, one of my best clients, Aaron Stanfill. Aaron, if you're watching, a little shout out to you. And you're doing awesome. So she had connected us, and I think that a really cool thing I remember was that how you had auditioned for the American Ninja Warrior program. So for the folks who missed that the first time, but I wanted to bring you back on here, Allegra, and just check in. It's been a couple months since we chatted, so I just wanted to check in with you and see how everything's going, pretty much.
Wonderful. Well, thank you. So I was not selected to be on American Ninja Warrior, which was my ego was bruised, but I do think it was the best thing overall. I've been struggling with Lyme so much this past year
Oh,
that now having met people who are competing, in fact, one of my good friends made it to Las Vegas, so
oh,
we're waiting to
nice.
see how he does. He can't tell us, but just seeing how fit and how capable these athletes are, I understand that I have a very compelling story that I want shared nationally, but I am I'm glad and humbled to give my spot to these athletes. They deserve their shot, and they've worked so hard and are just at the top of their game.
Hmm.
And yeah, so I haven't decided if I'm going to reapply or not. Some of my doctors are all for me doing it. They see how training for American Ninja Warrior has kept me strong, and so when I first set line setbacks, having this muscle mass really
Hmm.
kind of helps the immune system in the body and just all these systems, and keeps me from falling down as badly and for as long. Other doctors are a little worried that it's too much stress on my system
Hmm.
to be able to perform at that level. Pre-Lyme, I was very fit and active. I had a 66-acre farm, could stack 50-pound bags of grain in like nothing, but I wasn't like athletic per se. And so so this is very different from my body, and my body's like, whoa, so it's a matter of trying to decide what's best for me and best for my body. I don't want to do long-term damage more than what I already have. So it's trying to find that wisdom, and this is probably something you do with your clients, is like evaluating them where they're at, where they want to be, and what's best overall, and making the best health decisions for each individual. So it's tough. Like I really want to do it. It looks like so much fun. I'm really enjoying bonding with my fellow Ninja Warriors. They're just so amazing. Like
Hmm.
just absolutely like just good souled people. Like it's what you see on TV is what they are. They are genuinely this loving and supportive,
Hmm.
and like that's the kind of competition I appreciate, is not like backstabbing, undermining, but like it's when you as a horseback rider, like I compete as an individual in the ring, and it's about me performing at my best, but then also rooting for the people that I'm competing against for them to do their very best.
Right.
And I feel like that's what it's about. It's about all of us working so hard to achieve our very best selves.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, that's great.
but
Like, I love that. That's good. Now, you had mentioned about some of the, I guess this being a tougher year. Can you explain maybe for the folks who aren't really aware of Lyme disease and maybe some of the symptoms that you've been having and how you've been affected?
this year I've been struggling a lot with inflammation. Like
Mm-hmm.
I have lots of muscle, but I look fat,
Hmm.
just because I've got so much fluid in my body, and I don't really understand the physics of it, the
Mm-hmm.
physiological aspects. But it's from what I understand, it's like between the skin and the muscles
Hmm.
or something. I don't know. And it's, my skin gets this like burning, icy sensation a lot in my scalp, but all over in my thighs and my forearms, fatigue, joint pain. Um, uh, it in From what I understand, anything that you was weak before you get hit with Lyme is what the Lyme bacteria is going to attack. So for me, I was learning disabled prior to getting Lyme, so I have neurological issues, memory, trouble recalling words, simple words, even sometimes like book or you know.
Hmm.
Uh, uh, I had bad knees as a teenager growing up, so I have a lot of knee pain. And as a kid, I had chronic strep throat and sinusitis. So one of the things we're realizing is that I'm getting like a lot of sore throats and respiratory infections and things like this. And we'll be going to an ENT and possibly getting like my tonsils removed and things like that. But so it's Lyme looks different for each person. So I have a good friend whose father had kidney issues prior to it and almost died from kidney failure and a UTI.
Hmm.
Uh, if you have congenital heart issues, it's going to attack your heart. If you have like asthma issues, it's going to attack your lungs. So it really just finds what's weakest in the body and embeds itself there. So fun times.
Oh, wow.
Check for
Gosh.
ticks, people. Check for ticks. Trust me, you do not want this. So yeah.
Yeah, actually, you just reminded me that we just got back. My wife and my newborn and I are on our first trip to Virginia. We flew on a plane. Anyway, long story short, we were at her aunt's place this last weekend, and Kelly came out and said, "Look, what's on the towel?" It was a bath towel, and they've got a big dog. I think it's a golden retriever, Forrest, and on the towel was a tick, and I was like, "Oh my god!" That's what I remember. I was like, "Wow!" I
Wow.
don't think I'd seen a tick before actually, because I asked her. I said, "Is that what a tick looks like?" And like, "Yeah." And I remember I was like, "Well, they're pretty hard to kill, aren't they?" And so I think what we did was we just took it and flushed it down the toilet. But yeah, like I don't
Flushing it down the toilet or putting it in Scotch tape
Scotch tape
will work.
really.
Yeah,
Ah,
so because it seals it and like it can't get air and then you can throw it out and it can't get out.
that's
So
good to know. Okay, what about burning them? Like, is that true too? Like, oh
don't
no,
burn them. Rubbing alcohol won't kill them.
wow.
You can't really smush them. They'll still survive if you crush them. They are pretty indestructible. It's
That's what I've
so
heard.
many
Yeah.
so many like both human doctors and like veterinary doctors say that there's not really ticks in Georgia, which I certainly don't see the number of ticks here that I saw in Maryland.
Hmm.
But there are ticks. A lot of people will say there's not Lyme disease in Georgia. I know people who have Lyme disease who didn't leave Georgia. So you do the math. Those are types of questions that are beyond my pay grade. But being in Virginia, I would definitely go through look at your hair really closely behind your ears, between your
Yeah.
toes, other like hidden, dark, moist areas on all three of you to make sure that you don't have ticks. Because in Virginia, there is Lyme disease. There's no
Hmm.
doubt. You want to be really careful about it. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. That was scary because again, I don't think I've ever seen one up close and personal, and yeah, that was
They're kind of gross looking.
they it was yeah yeah. Oh gosh. Well, how about as far as like physical activities concerned, like exercise or working out? How's that been the last couple months for you?
It's been on and off. It's really hard. I'm a very driven person,
Hmm.
so I'm always pushing myself to do the very best that I can.
Hmm.
And I get very frustrated and so so I'll have a couple weeks where I'm doing really well, and like I'm able to rock climb and ride my horse a bunch of times that week,
Hmm.
and I'm starting to get really strong and I'm seeing results and it's awesome. And once again, I'm sure your clients know that. And then I'll get sick, and then I can't go to the gym and I can't
Hmm.
get out to the barn, and then I backslide. And I'm 43. So not only do I have Lyme disease, but I'm older, and it's like if you miss a week or two, like you lose that progress so quickly, and it is
Yeah.
so frustrating. And it's like I think that's like one of the hardest parts, especially with my eye sort of on American Ninja Warrior. It's like I make this progress and I think, oh my gosh, maybe I could actually do it and I could actually be a viable competitor.
Yeah.
And then I miss for 2 or 3 weeks, and then I'm right back to where I started, and it's like, oh God, and it's kind of Sisyphean in a way. It's like keep pushing that rock up and it rolls back down, and I keep pushing the rock up and it rolls back down. But I'm a fighter, so there's no doubt in my mind that I will continue to try to get stronger and healthier, whether or not I reapply for American Ninja Warrior. Because I tried that giving up thing and just being in bed for a year and a half, and it was terrible.
Hmm.
Highly recommend not going that route. Keep fighting by tooth and nail. Just keep going,
Hmm.
because giving up is just, it was lousy and boring and depressing. And yeah, so I've learned that I do have to rest. I do have to say, okay, today I'll stay in bed and I'll rest, and this is what's best for me. And it's finding this balance of not pushing myself to the point of making myself sick, but nor giving up. And I haven't quite found the balance yet, but I'm working on it.
Good. No, you're doing great. I mean, that's
Thank you.
wonderful, very inspiring. What can you say to other people who are watching that maybe they have Lyme disease, maybe they know someone who has it, and for motivation and inspiration purposes, what would keep you like going if they're watching right now and they're just like saying, it's just too hard to work out or do anything. What would you say to them in terms of being
So,
able to help?
so for me, the biggest comfort is you're not alone.
Mm-hmm.
You're
Mm-hmm.
not the only one struggling. There are all sorts of support groups on Facebook and online.
Good.
Um, Reach out and talk to somebody. We are all here for you. And for me, I gain strength and hope from talking to other people who are struggling. And so it becomes this very reciprocal relationship of me helping them and them helping me. And it's wonderful. And like, so I've now been struggling with Lyme disease for more than 8 years, and over this course of 8 years there are people who have inspired me to keep going. My friend Lindsay Hayes, she was in an undergraduate program when I first started back at graduate school, and I was thinking, oh my God, there's no way I could possibly do this. And I was like, well, Lindsay's doing it, so
Hmm.
I can do it, you know. And
Hmm.
Lindsay
Hmm.
inspired me, and now she's in a PhD MD program, and
Nice.
she's struggling, and like, I don't know if I can do this. And she's like, well, Allegra did it, so I know I could do it.
There
I
you
was like, well, I
go.
only did it because I knew you could do it. So, but it's you know, and there's too many people to list in this amazing supportive community of us reaching out and working with each other. I remember when I was first fighting my way out of being bedridden, uh, one of my oldest and dearest friends, I call her my sister because we're just that close. She also has Lyme disease, ironically, and she was telling me, you know, to like exercise my arms and that it would really help because things like putting dishes away, grocery shopping, shampooing my hair,
Oh yeah.
I would have to sleep for like an hour afterwards because I'd be so exhausted. She's like, just get like a can of beans and like, and I was like, I can't do that. I'd be down for 2 days. She's like, trust me, just keep going. And I confess I didn't believe her. But I did eventually believe her and do that, obviously. And she's right. So it's like start small,
Yeah.
and it may seem insurmountable, but it's not, and you can do it. And you may need to rest for an hour, 12 hours,
Hmm.
but you just go up incrementally and just keep fighting. And there were times where the pain was so bad I didn't know if I would be able to keep going. And there's an AA saying like one day at a time.
Yeah.
I couldn't think like one day at a time. And so it's
Hmm.
like, okay, like right, just 1 minute. You can make it one more minute. And at one point it was like 1 second. Just make it one more second. Okay, make it one more second. I just
Yeah.
kept making that deal with myself. Like just keep going one more second. And you can do 1 second. 1 second's nothing. And you get through it. And it is tough. And but keep fighting and don't give up. That's the biggest thing. That it's
Mm.
I feel like especially with the Lyme disease challenge and the reception that we've gotten with it and the funds that are being raised, that and my doctor, Dr. Alcott, finally has his own department at Johns Hopkins
Oh, nice.
dedicated to this chronic Lyme situation. It's the first one at a major university. There is hope. Like Lyme is not like cancer where it has to be a death sentence
Hmm.
necessarily. But right now, there's no hope for a cure because there's no funding for research. There's no, um, there, we're struggling to get research done. We're struggling to raise awareness. But we're so close to getting there that I feel like there will be hope that this is not the end of my story.
Yeah.
5 years ago, it was like I kind of treated it like an MS mindset of like I have to get it in this relapsing, remitting kind of thing and take care of myself and know that this is could like I could have a flare at any moment. And
Hmm.
but that doesn't mean that I have to live my life like there's going to be a flare at any moment. But it was finding this balance. But now I have so much hope that we're going to, I mean, and it will take a while. I'm not saying it's going to be next year, but within like the foreseeable future, we will have funding and research, and that we will find an accurate blood test for Lyme. There's no
Hmm.
accurate test even, you know, that will be able to find a cure. You know, it's a bacterial infection. We should have a cure,
Yeah.
um, but we're getting there. I'm very hopeful that we're getting there. So speaking of the Lyme disease challenge,
Hmm.
Taryn, our last interview, I you talked about Aaron challenging you and you tagged people, but you never actually did the challenge.
Yes, that's right.
So when Taryn asked if he could interview me again, I said, "Okay, have a lime slice ready." And I didn't tell him why. So and he doesn't have a lime slice, but he's going to take a swig of lime juice, and I figured we could
Yes.
do it together. So you
Yeah.
ready?
I've got it right here.
Okay.
Yes. All right.
One,
Two,
two,
three,
three,
and
go.
hmm. I think this thing's probably equivalent to a whole lime of what I just swigged down. But that was strong.
And you speak a lot too.
You saw it.
Now I've got lime in my teeth.
But as I was mentioning Allegra prior to video, I usually keep a ton of limes on hand, and I couldn't find one lime. I couldn't believe it's like the only time I couldn't. But I love that stuff. And to bite into it, for me, I can do it. But yeah, that was my accepting of the challenge. But next time, I guarantee you, I will have it right here, so that way I can do it in front of everybody.
We'll do it again.
With the official
There
slice.
you go.
Yes, my eyes are starting to tear up right now. So that was great. First time ever. Yeah, but that was really, again, like, yeah, it's a good challenge because, you know, I think that anybody watching, they should try the same thing. So my mouth is still a little hot and burning right now.
Yeah, so do the challenge, tag 3 friends, go to LymeDiseaseChallenge.org and donate and spread the love. We need awareness. Like I said, this shouldn't be the end of my story, but at this moment it is until you, yes, I'm talking to you, until you go and help us spread the word and help us raise awareness and help us raise funds. So I am looking at all these viewers out there. So
yes, I love
now
it.
we can't do it without you.
We're gonna do it, definitely. So you heard it right there, folks. I want everyone to check that excuse me, website out, Liberation through LymeDiseaseChallenge.org, but also
Yes.
my
website.
Yes, right there you can see it. Here it comes on the screen, Liberation Through Lyme. Go to that website right there and check it out. That way you could follow Allegra and get yourself your Lyme and take part in it. But like she said, more importantly, let's definitely create awareness and learn more about it and educate everyone out there. So, Allegra, thank you so much for coming on today and making me pucker up and my face real sour. And I appreciate the challenge. And again, I want everyone else out there to do the same, to you know, get on it and learn more about it and start reading Liberation Through Lyme and check her out, folks. So when you get a chance, do that. So I want to thank you, Allegra, for coming on. Everyone out there watching, you heard it right there. The challenge is on. So let's get on it. So that does it for today's...
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate the time and helping me spread awareness.
My pleasure. Anytime. Well, yeah, seriously, let's have you back on here again for another follow-up. And keep up all your great work that you're doing too, Allegra. All
awesome.
right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right,
you
folks.
take care.
Yes, we'll see y'all later, and have a good evening, everybody. So long. All right, folks, there you have it. There was Allegra, and she was right here on GoTarryn TV with Liberation Through Lyme. I want you guys to check her out and connect with her today. And so that was great. Allegra, thank you so much for coming on here on GoTarryn TV. And for the rest of everyone out there, hope you're enjoying your Thursday so far and learned a lot there with Allegra of Liberation Through Lyme. So if you could also, all the folks out there watching, do me a few other things as a favor, I would greatly appreciate it. There's a website link right here that I can ask of you to check out. It's www.gotarryn.tv. Bookmark that as a favorite to your web browser and tell 2 other people about that today. Other things that I can ask of you to do, if you don't mind, would you please, if you haven't done so yet, like GoTarryn on Facebook, subscribe to GoTarryn on TV, follow GoTarryn on Twitter, and always stay connected with yours truly. And keep watching these great GoTarryn TV Skype interviews that we're having with these great people right here on the GoTarryn TV show. So that does it for today. I want everyone out there to enjoy your Thursday. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to Allegra for coming on. Everyone grab your limes and let's get connected and know about Lyme disease awareness. So until we see you on the next video blog, I want everyone out there to enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Remember, with GoTarryn Personal Training, Tarryn the Traveling Trainer, Master of the Personal Training Universe, it's your time, it's your investment, it's your life. We'll see you on the next video blog, everybody. So long, and enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Bye-bye.